I'm Michelle from Legal Suite, and this is part 5 of how to complete the Docgen database for transfer matter, the sale details screen. Now, I've already captured my transfer matter with all its relevant parties, and we're now going to get into the next bit of completing the Docgen. So, we highlight the matter on our desktop, and into the Docgen database we go, and to the sale details screen. Now, obviously, you would have your sale agreement handy because most of the information in this particular screen will come directly from your agreement of sale. Right, so starting with our sale date, we can either type it in or we can use our little calendar. So let's say that our sale was concluded on the 1st of September this year. So we select the date, click on the tick, and in goes our sale date. Now, our purchase price, obviously once again from the agreement of sale, and let's say that our purchase price was 2.5 million. Okay, now we remember from the previous screen at the collaborations that our buyer had a bond for 1.5 million. So this means that there's obviously a difference between the purchase price and the bond amount. So obviously there is a deposit. Now in this little yellow screen on the left-hand side, this is where we can insert one or multiple deposits depending on the content of our agreement of sale. So in order to get our deposit in, we yellow screen, yellow insert. What the deposit amount was. So the difference between 1.5 and 2.5 is obviously 1 million rand. Okay. When the deposit was due, we can again use our little calendar and whether or not the deposit has been paid. So if the deposit has not yet been paid, you can immediately see that the deposit was due, this was the date, and it's not yet been paid. I am going to simply change and I'm going to insert the date the deposit was paid into our trust account. See, let's get back to September, and let's say the buyer paid on the 5th, the day after it was due. Obviously, this amount has now been invested, and interest is accruing to the buyer. Now, at our estate agent details, if you remember when we took on the matter, and again, you can refer to our webinar on capturing a transfer matter, the program stopped and asked us to please insert the selling estate agency, which has now been displayed over here. We also need to insert the actual physical estate agent, and this is for SARS purposes, because the receiver revenue or SARS need to know who the agent was and what their tax number is. So at the selling agent, we put a tick in the checkbox, and we come to the ellipse button, and the program will take us into the address book and filter by estate agents. Now, I haven't captured my estate agents in the type of estate agent, so I'm going to simply click on the drop down, revert this to all, and I'm going to go and select my estate agent from the list. If your estate agent doesn't exist in the address book, you can add it on the fly, and if you need some assistance with this, please refer to our webinar on how to use the address book. So I highlight my party. Please make sure that your party has a tax reference number, because failing this, your SARS application will fail. So highlight your party, click on the select button, and in comes your estate agent. Now, commission paid by, the default is seller, because in a normal sale transaction, the seller is responsible for payment of commission to the estate agent. It's usually only in the cases of a public auction that the buyer pays the sheriff's commission. Now, contract registration date. If your sale agreement specifically sets out a date of registration for the transfer, you can pop it in here. Okay. Now, at percentage and amount, this is the amount of your estate agent's commission. Now, some of the time, the estate agent will say, please can you hold us covered for a percentage plus VAT. So let's say it is 5.8% of the purchase price. Click on the field and the program will calculate the rand value based on that percentage of the purchase price. VAT is either inclusive, exclusive, or doesn't apply. Please refer to your agreement of sale in this respect. If the agreement or the agent simply asks you for an amount, you can simply type in the commission amount, and again, it's either VAT inclusive, VAT exclusive, or not subject to VAT. If you have multiple agents, you can insert them at the listing agent, and again, click on the little checkbox, select your agent from the address book as well as the agency. If there are more than 2 agents, you can simply add estate agents as parties to the matter, and they will then appear here at the parties to the matter screen.